104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Rula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Rula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Well, good morning,
Good morning.
Houston, Texas. It is Monday, August the 26th of 2024, and it's 6:03 a.m. with the gang, Rula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam. Happy Monday, first day of the work week. But the end of the rainbow has an extra day off at the end of the week.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
is it
Labor
next
Day
week?
on Monday.
Yeah, so next Monday, a week from now, we have off.
Right.
A lot of people
Schools,
do.
yeah. Some schools just started last week. They already get their day off.
And my daughter gets Friday off.
Oh,
and
wow.
Monday.
That's fun.
Like,
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Take it.
Good for her.
Don't ask questions.
You just
Just
take it.
accept.
Just
She has Friday and Monday off for Labor Day? That's new.
never understood people that would like, oh, hey, boss, it says I have this day off. Is that right? Hell no. If it says take it off,
Take it
Don't
off.
ask them. Take it.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder how many companies decide last minute, since we're getting, we're more than halfway through the year. Like a couple of years in a row, our company had told us, guess what, everybody, you get an extra day off for like the Thanksgiving week. But people already made their plane plans. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, oh, I could have left one day early.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
You know what I mean? Like, how
That's too
many
expensive to change it.
how many impromptu days off do companies just choose to give away like last minute? You get the day off and you get the day off. I don't know.
Most companies do not feel like, hey, let's just give up free time.
Nope.
No, they're not going to do that. But you know what? Next week at this time is going to be like the busiest day of the year travel-wise so far. The Houston airport system says they expect 888,000 passengers between Bush and Hobby Airport. And they said the busiest day will be people returning on Monday. They said
And then we get a new stat for Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no way
it's
Labor
always
Day beats
bad. They said they
Thanksgiving.
expect
1st of July, 4th.
Yeah.
like a week from now, there will be 682,000 passengers at Bush Airport alone.
So if you're coming back Monday night, hopefully it's not like when Kevin and Ryan came back.
Where
It will
it took
be.
2 to 3 hours to get out of there.
yeah.
Yeah, it will. They're not doing anything to fix it. I mean,
That clog up that you guys got stuck in, that I always see people standing out and waiting for cars.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that rideshare pickup was inside the garage. That's where I picked up a rideshare before.
that wasn't the problem. The problem, well, there's only one lane at Terminal E, so that jams up everything. But they were staggering people out of the parking decks. For instance, I was on
Right.
the 6th floor, and they had basically attendants there not letting us get in that spiral.
But I think because of that clog up where I'm talking about, it led it back into that spiral. And I always see all these people waiting when I'm exiting the airport. There's tons of people waiting outside, and it clogs up those 2 left lanes. Are those rideshare people?
So there is a specific rideshare pickup area now at the IAH airport. And then there's another separate parking lot shuttle area, and then yet another separate private car pickup area.
Yeah.
However, since there's no E-terminal and there's less lanes that because of construction, everything is funneled into one tiny area and then funneled again into another tiny area because they're trying to put 2 terminals into one with 2 tiny lanes. So it's nearly impossible to get any cars through there. You have one little hiccup, I say hiccup, but I guess it was a tragedy. Like a pedestrian was hit when Ryan and I were there, so it clogged up a whole lot more.
Somebody had
It was
ran over
just-
somebody's foot.
Yes, it was just a foot injury.
Thank
but
God it
still,
wasn't a fatality.
all of these things just led to a whole staggering of people trying to get out of there, and it was hell. And I can only imagine it's going to happen again this weekend.
Well, look
Give
forward
yourself
to
some
that.
time.
That's
Run away
that's
from the
the
airport.
general point of this. Give yourself extra
Patience
time.
and patience. Don't yell at the people who are just trying to run it and fix it and deal with it.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Hey, Sam, Rilla, do you guys ever, when you put perfume on, do you ever spray your neck?
Yes.
I kind of
Sometimes.
spray all over.
I spray my neck and my wrist.
Because there's a study that came out, or a thing that said the alcohol in the fragrance dries your skin and causes wrinkles. And they say not to spray your neck.
So you don't want
when you
neck
get older.
wrinkles.
Yeah.
Good looking out.
Well,
just
it
be
doesn't
careful.
all eventually
All right,
cause
all right.
wrinkles.
Don't want
But to
those
hit the
wrinkles.
spray straight to the neck, I don't.
I do that thing where you
more of like
spray
a
it in the air and walk into it like
A
after a shower.
spritz, and then on your wrist.
But
They
what
do
would
that.
cause wrinkles about that
It dries out
fragrance
your-
Dries
hitting
your skin.
Dries your skin. Alcohol's going to dry out your skin.
I don't.
Then you get dry neck, and that's why people like to have little ascots around their neck.
Yep.
So you don't
Oh, is
see
that the
little-
reason?
My grandma had
neck.
that turtleneck.
That's the reason they put those things on?
And listen, Rob Lowe has always been one of those like super youth celebrities, like John Stamos, Rob Lowe, Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, even Rob Lowe's neck has started to show his age. The last time
He's in his
he was
60s.
doing something, I'm like, wow, even
They also say the
Eventually
perfume
get
contains
you.
musk, and that makes your skin more sensitive to the sun.
Oh.
Oh,
If you
wow.
didn't have that musk on, Kev, when you were laying out.
No, I don't think so. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of like what was I wearing? 100. It was 100
Booster had a beautiful photo of a sunset.
on Tiki Island. We went out on a boat. It's my first time in. I guess that's called San Luis Pass. I think it's
Yeah.
probably where y'all
Yeah, we always go over there.
troll around in. And so we got there right at the sunset time. It was so neat to do that for my first time. I can't believe I've lived here for so long and never got on a boat and got into San Luis Pass. But that was
Really?
So
pretty
beautiful.
neat. And then we went to our little secret beach this weekend to celebrate my friend's birthday. And we mostly had the beach to ourselves. And I stepped on a tar ball, y'all.
Oh, no.
It was so nasty, and I didn't even know it. My
How'd you
friends
figure it out?
Well, my friends are like, "What's that on your foot? Gangrene?"
Gangrene.
Yeah.
That's when you got to amputate your
Right,
foot.
because it was black and between my toes, and I couldn't get it off for the life of me. I couldn't get it off with any soap. So once we got back to my friend's place, I was like, "Hey, do y'all have gasoline on hand?" And I took it off like that. But that was really nasty.
Did it
And I-
hurt?
Not at all. I didn't even know it was
Okay.
there, and it smelled like construction vehicles.
Oh.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
I didn't know that
It
was a
was so
thing.
weird.
Not even that smell is now.
Yeah.
I think
Watch out for tar balls on
Oh,
the
you know who I
beach.
met last week at Lamarck when I did the grand opening for Raising Cane's? The guy who owns the slingshots on Galveston Island.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
The
Have you
guy
ever
who
thought
owns
of,
those
There's a
all
couple
those-
places, though, right?
Have you ever thought
Yeah.
of renting one, Rula?
No, I just drive the seawall and then just
Eric?
hang out.
Yeah.
No, I just go to my,
They're too low.
yeah. I mean,
They're really low. They're super fast.
They're like a motorcycle engine, right?
yeah, they drive on, I see people go on Galveston, 45.
Yeah, they're super fast.
Right.
So they go to the limit.
Scary.
They can go at least 65, 70, right?
I'm sure they can go more than
They
that.
go faster than
But they got
that.
that
for
music.
sure.
The people are just playing that music so loud, just enjoying life.
Get
They
the
look like they're
neon
having,
band around it.
look like they're having fun. I want to rent those motorcycles. Those three. It's like a 3-wheeler motorcycle. Seen that one with the
I've
2
not
wheels
seen
on the
that.
front?
Yes.
That looks fun.
Is it like a backwards motorcycle looking thing?
Like the one wheels in the back and the 2 in the front.
Oh, yeah.
I think
is
it's older
like the
people do
slingshot.
it when they can't ride motorcycles anymore.
Really? I've
Well,
not seen
because
that.
it's hard on their hands.
I don't
You
know.
see them in
Or
Galveston?
balance?
At least on Sons of Anarchy,
I think-
that's what they said.
I think more like balance, right?
So what's the difference between a
combo.
slingshot and what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, slingshot is the
slingshot's
wheels in the
same thing.
front.
Slingshot's like a car.
It's a two-seater.
Slingshot is a legit car.
Yeah, it's like a
I
two-seater.
forget what this motorcycle's called. You said
Motorcycle is what? 2 in the front, 1 in the back?
this one, yeah, two in the front, one
yeah.
in the back.
I don't know what they're called.
I saw one.
A trike?
So this slingshot that I'm looking at has 2 in the front and 1 in the back.
And this thing, look up like motorcycle.
But people sit side by side. It's like a car. Where a
Yeah.
motorcycle, you're sitting front to back, not side to side.
I don't know.
I don't
there
know.
are-
I don't think
I
I
got one of
balance
those
that
people like,
thing.
hey, what are you driving that for, dude?
Midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Midlife crisis. But there are so many things to do. I finally drank the Galveston Kool-Aid, and I went down to this
You
weekend.
can't. You're not invited.
What?
What?
You bitched about Galveston my whole life here. You said crappy things.
No.
I'm taken away since I have a place there.
Eric claims that he has his flag in there, Ryan.
You were denied.
His flag is
Oh, we
already
did
in
just pop
Galveston
in.
Island.
Denied a passport.
We just visited.
You can't
and,
bitch about it and then go enjoy our great Galveston.
What did he
it's
say
fun.
about it? What did he say?
What
about
didn't he say the last 22 years? Oh, the needles in that water. You walk around, get stabbed with heroin needles. Or
He did say that. You're right. He did.
All the
That was a
time.
million years ago.
No, that was like more like 3 weeks ago.
It's like if you actually
Losing your
go down
limbs
there
to the
and
water.
see it, like that sunset that Booster put
Yeah.
up there. You should put that on your site, Kev. It's so pretty.
It was
I'll try.
beautiful.
I'll
Really
see if I
was.
can
And I get it when you go to the
regram
seawall and when you pull in on 61st,
Uh-huh.
and you go right in that area, I could see why you could complain, I guess.
No, but I think I discovered Kevin and Sam's beach because we were the only ones on it. It was really, really pretty.
Better hush your mouth. Get
Yeah.
that.
I'm not going to
Don't
say where
you
it's
tell
at. I'm not
anybody.
saying
So which
anything. But
direction
did you
that's
read
in?
that they're
Bunch of
going to
straight people are going to show up now, Kev.
There are straight people there,
Yeah,
but you can definitely.
hello, I'm straight.
But when you get there, it's the only place that you will see Speedo style bathing suits, as you guys would call them.
Oh.
It's
you
the
call
only
them?
place where we feel comfortable wearing them there,
Yeah, what do you call them?
where they won't yell
Swimwear.
things
He
at
calls
us.
it swimwear.
It's just normal.
Just
swimwear.
trunks swimwear.
Is that what it-
Trunks.
It's just his swimsuit.
They're going to build a fourth terminal. They're building a new terminal. There's another cruise line they just announced this coming.
MSC
Yep.
is coming, and that's a bit bougie. It's for them more.
They're set to launch in
One time
November
We had Kevin and
2025.
Sam come over once with their partners, and they're like, I think it was Sam saying, we had to change our outfits.
Why?
Be more,
Oh, more
Oh,
conservative.
yes. Like,
Because you're
no.
wearing like thongs.
remember that?
we came
Remember?
from our beach
Or
to
something, I
your
remember-
beach house. Yeah. We put on an extra pant.
Like, this is one you wear
Extra
with, like,
pants.
parents.
Sam's like, I can't wear a thong. I'm gonna wear-
Yes.
And Eric, by the way, people are texting. You're talking about the Can-Am Spider Roadster.
Oh, that's
what
what
it's
it's
called. The
Yeah.
Can-Am Spider
Look at us.
Roadster.
It looks pretty cool.
I
Spider
can rent
Roadster.
those. All right, my friends, today is Monday. It's on the Rule and Ryan Show, which means we're going to have a check-in on Rule and Ryan's Roses from last Thursday. If you missed what happened last Thursday, we will give you a recap, and then we'll have an update on what happened over the weekend. Coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, we have a new celebrity daddy who became a daddy over the weekend. We'll talk about that and more. Here's your weather for today.
Thank God it's going to be a little bit cooler today. It looks like we see some rain in the afternoon, but a high only around 88. Right now, 78 degrees and 6:14 on the Roll and Ryan Show.
Scoop.
KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Randas, and congratulations to Justin and Hailey Bieber. Late on Friday, they posted a picture of a little tiny baby foot in a blanket to announce the birth of their son, Jack Blues Bieber.
Jack Blues Bieber.
Jack
That's
Blues.
a cool name.
They first revealed they were pregnant back in May. They've been married since September of 2018, and now they have offspring. Little baby
Little
Bieber.
baby.
Little baby Bieber. 294 million followers is how many just on X Justin Bieber has.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the baby.
294 million. Well, the baby can
Lord.
pay.
They could buy Jose the million if they put just a baby.
Yeah, they
Oh,
could just make one
absolutely.
for the
Create
baby.
an Instagram for them.
Oh, yeah.
Put a baby with the hair, like the old Bieber
Got the
cut.
old Bieber swoop.
Oh, my gosh.
That'd be
Yes.
so
That would
cute.
be hilarious.
Fresh down to the side.
Somebody's
crazy.
already, I guarantee you, somebody's probably already done that. They
true.
photoshopped that swoopy
Say,
hair on a baby.
Here's the first photo of the baby.
So congratulations to them. If you're a big Ted Lasso fan, I thought it was over. I thought it was done. Well, guess what? They're getting a fourth season, and they have options for the three core cast members: Hannah Waddingham, Brett Goldstein, and Jeremy Swift. The studio is expected to start reaching out to Ted Lasso cast members with SAG-AFTRA contracts whose options had expired. So they'll need to make new deals for the new season. The co-creators and executive producers, who are Jason Sudeikis and Brendan Hunt, are believed to include Juno Temple, who's played by Keely Jones. Let's see who else.
She's my least favorite character.
Really?
Maybe because I can't understand like 90% of her what she's saying.
I just know her because I don't
Do you
watch the
put the
show, but
words
she's
up?
up for awards.
Yeah.
The subtitles when you watch it?
Yeah.
So are you excited about that, Eric, that they're back?
Yeah, this is huge. It never should have left. I don't think I'm not happy about it is it doesn't sound like Ted Lasso is going to really be in it.
What? Jason Sudeikis isn't going to be in it?
He's producing it, but he's not in it?
From what I've read, then Variety said it
Are they
sounds
gonna
like he's
sprinkle
producing
him
it.
in?
I'm thinking sprinkle. Maybe
Oh.
maybe that team Richmond will come to America and do a friendly, and then maybe he'll be there. And I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways to bring him in. They got to have him in there, or it's not Ted Lasso.
Right. How can they call it
Eric
Ted Lasso?
was on
and
top
Ted
of this
Lasso?
story. Y'all, we were, and I try not to pull out the phone during date night. You know, we were having dinner, and all of a sudden my phone's buzzing, and I'm like, it's Eric. Ted Lasso renewed. So I did break in because I think that you're the biggest Ted Lasso fan on the planet. And then number two would have to be my fiance.
She likes it too.
So you actually made it a better date night.
Nice. My wife. It's funny. My wife liked it, but she watched it after me.
Uh-huh.
She watched it all like the last year when it ended.
Uh-huh.
So I watched it year to year. I had to wait.
Oh, right.
It's like
Do you
Breaking
feel-
Bad. Like Ryan watched Breaking Bad in
In real time. Yeah. Do you feel like, you own the show a little bit more because you were there. You didn't just binge it. You actually were following them from day one.
And that's what some people say about Game of Thrones, how that last season really sucked. They said that, but if you binged it wasn't as bad because it was all, you're not waiting.
Oh, because you didn't have to wait.
Yeah.
So long. Because you're like, that's what I waited for? That sucks.
I wait 2 years and this is the crap they gave me?
I hear
I
you.
can
That makes a good
understand that. I
point.
feel like that could be any show.
Yeah, like any show, right?
If you're bored, let me give you perspective from someone who watches the same thing over and over again. If you're bored and you're like, well, there's nothing new I feel like jumping into, let me go to something that's comfortable and I'm used to. Whether that's Emily in Paris or Bridgerton or, I don't know, some of these other series on Netflix that have had their time and they kind of faded out, you learn new things or you notice new things on the rewatch. Like I had said that when Bridgerton came out for fourth season, or was it third season? Whichever one we're in, when they split it up in half. That's third, right? Yeah, third. You forget what happened. This used to happen to us on network television. When ABC would air Lost or Desperate Housewives or shows like that, you would have to do like a Sunday night recap show to remind the audience what the heck has happened since the last time they went off the air.
Especially when it's a complex show.
Right. So when Bridgerton was at to hit back again with the Penelope Collin season, I was like, well, I kind of forgot what happened. Let me go rewatch. And then, like for those that don't know, here's how I consume television. One earbud in my ear, phone prop somewhere, never on the big screen. So
possibly the worst way to watch anything.
Yeah,
Nobody
absolutely.
wins. Nobody wins.
Not
you don't fully enjoy the show.
in the first round.
And you're not really
No wonder
connected
you
with
missed
the
stuff. You have
people
to watch
around
things
you.
twice because
Well, in the first round,
if you watch it the right way the first time, you wouldn't have to watch it twice.
No. Hold on. The first round, I am focused on it. But if I'm rewatching it or whatever, I'm more casual about it, and I'll leave the phone over there and I'll be doing my things. The things that I noticed in Emily in Paris on the rewatch. If you have not watched Emily in Paris, the second half of the season hits in September, which really stinks, but they're just taking a cue from Bridgerton, which split it
That's
up
why I'm
halfway.
waiting. I'm not even going to watch the first
four episodes.
I'm going to wait till then.
You're smart about that.
I'm
You
on the
forget.
rewatch. There are things with a certain character that was a cliffhanger episode that I'm like, oh yeah, oh wait, oh look at that. They're telling us who she is from the pilot episode, and we didn't pay attention to her. I mean, there's just different stuff that you see. Now you know how certain characters get into their lanes, and you're surprised as you watch it. When you go back on the rewatch, they give you little breadcrumbs in the forest to tell you, hey, we're about to turn this person this way, not that way. And you're not going to be surprised if you really paid attention.
Also, if you watch a show and they say previously on the show and they show you clips, a lot of times it's not clips just from last week. It's like, hey, this is from 6 episodes ago.
They'll reference
And then you
some
see that
small
part,
little
you go,
thing.
oh, yeah, so this part's going to mean something in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was
So
saying
it is
this.
worth watching. A lot of people are like, oh, I just watched that. But then it gives you a hint of what's to come in this episode.
Yeah, those recaps are worth it.
And I talked to Eric a little bit about this on Friday, but if you watch repeat television, like, I'll just have to give you the best example there is on television right now. Reruns of solid shows. I haven't seen How I Met Your Mother anywhere. The way you still see Friends
You
being
can get
repeats.
it on, is it on Hulu or Peacock?
No, I'm talking about on network
Okay.
television.
Like network
TNT,
television.
TBS,
It was for a little bit.
CW39, Fox 26.
They did it for like a year or two. I forget what channels.
Yeah, that
But it
faded
never-
out.
Just kind of.
So what's still standard on 3 different networks? It's Friends. And the other day when I had it on the background, it was the iconic episode of where Rachel and Ross get in a fight after he finds out that she likes him. Now, the thing that was pivotal in the Friends series was basically it was the Rachel and Ross show. It was basically the Rachel show. The pilot starts with her leaving her wedding.
Yep.
The series ends with her, what she's going to do with Ross. That really it was the Rachel show. If you break down Friends into one character, it's the Rachel show. So the iconic thing that turned America onto this show even more so in the pilot episode is the fact that Ross has had a crush on Rachel since he was like in the 9th grade. And then she moves into his sister's apartment and he's just crushing on her hard. Then he gets a girlfriend and she realizes, oh my God, he likes me. I like him too. So the iconic episode is where they get in this fight at Central Perk where she's closing down Central Perk. And he's like, hey, I was happy before I knew about you. I was going to get a cat with Julie, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, fine, go get your cat. And she locks the doors to Central Perk. He comes back and he's looking at her and she is crying on the couch. She walks to the door to unlock the door. In the original series and some repeats, but not this last one, she can't get the door open. And then he looks at her and goes, try the bottom lock. And then she unlocks the bottom lock, the doors fly open and they kiss each other. Why do they cut out little things like that? They cut out little things in
They
these.
cut that whole scene out.
They cut the
So to
part
make
where
room
she
for
couldn't open the
commercials.
door. No, but they've played it before in the repeats.
Well, they
It's
want to
so
squeeze.
odd.
They want to squeeze an extra commercial in.
It's so odd that they will play it as a repeat, and then some repeats don't have certain scenes.
And that had a U2 song playing.
With or without you.
And if you watch
Maybe
reruns,
they're
they
not
don't play
allowed to
it.
have-
Oh, they must not have paid for the
It
residuals.
costs too much money to play the song. So if you
Wait, I have seen that because
A lot
the
of times
radio
they'll take it
DJ says, Ross, Rachel called us and told you what you did. We're not playing your song.
But a lot of times, like the song,
because they
don't pay for
licensed it for
reruns.
that episode, but they didn't, not for, what is it called, in perpetuity? Like forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've noticed on some of these repeats I watch of shows, they'll cut out scenes that it doesn't make it shorter. I get it if it's like a whole thing, like back in the day when they used to do like
when you
supersized
shave,
television.
You shave 10 seconds off here. You shave 3 seconds off there. 7 seconds there. I just got another 30-second
How about the end of the
commercial in there.
shows when they show the credits and it goes.
Oh, they make it really
super
fast.
fast
Which
to
I
get
think
to
is
the next episode.
That should be like illegal. I feel bad for the people that
Worked on it. Hey, there I am. I'm the gaffer. Oh,
you
I'm
can't
gone.
see it.
They're like,
Like, why you put that on there?
minimize the fast forward of the credits to start the next episode in the bigger screen.
But let's be real. Nobody's watching the credits.
Nobody
like that.
cares.
But
So-
but
Unless
Bob
you're
the
in that.
Gaffer's really mad.
Yeah.
Bob the
Hey, man, I
Gaffer.
worked all day on that. That was my credit.
He's probably like, I'm fine. I was
Nobody
thinking
believes me.
somewhere out
Yeah.
there is the set designer that we don't even know walks amongst us that thought, I'm going to put a yellow picture frame around that door peephole.
Oh yeah,
That was somebody's idea.
Yeah.
iconic.
To put the yellow picture frame around the peephole, and that is how you know.
Now people do that with thermostats.
Did you?
Yes.
I
To
haven't
make
seen
it look
that.
like decoration.
Do you do that?
Surprisingly, I don't.
Go on Amazon.
I have not seen that, Sam.
Really?
Yeah, how funny.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
People do like gallery walls, and then it's behind a picture frame so you don't see it because they're like eyesores.
Oh, I might have to start
That yellow
doing
frame
That's
is
very
on
cute.
Amazon because when my daughter was going through her friend's phase, I was looking for gifts, and there's a whole line of products with that
I'm
yellow
sure.
door
Oh,
frame.
yeah. They make more money now
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
off that show.
Oh my God,
cash
yeah.
machine.
I don't know if they're getting money from it though, as a show. Like I feel like somebody licensed out something, and now it's.
Hey, look at this story. This is
I can't.
what is going on with.
Are we
with
getting
people?
way too sensitive? If your kids have gone off to college and your youngest one is now in a dorm, what is that phrase, guys? When your last of your kids is out of the house,
no more-
Empty nester.
what's that phrase?
Empty nester.
Cannot
Oh
say
my God,
that.
I'm offended.
Why?
Oh,
I am
God.
I
offended.
can't say that now.
That's
Nope.
the new offense.
Oh my God.
Why is the term empty nest offensive now? We'll explain next on the
Birds
Real and
are
Ryan
mad.
Show.
0.1 KRBE. Back to the Rule and Ryan Show.
I think it's really great that, people want to adapt and not say offensive things and to be woke. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but don't you think sometimes we
Now,
got to
there
go
are
too
a
far?
lot of things that
Too
we had to
much.
change in our vocabulary in the last I don't know how many years.
I don't want to
but
hurt
this one
anybody's
sounds
feelings.
ridiculous.
I mean, I think
But at one
that's-
point is because one person's hurt, then everyone has to change. That's what ticks me off. I mean, if everybody's in on it, fine. But if like three
if
people
we can
are,
collectively as a group
Majority
agree
rules.
that something is offensive, I get it.
I mean, if it's not troubling us,
But a lot
how
of times
difficult
it's
is
the
it?
squeakiest
but the
wheel.
problem is
to
might not be
remove a
trouble.
bad
But then if
word.
you say something and they think it's woke, anyone, then you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
You lose your job, you get fired. Like this job, any job out there, you can get fired.
Well, a writer for Slate.com thinks that in this time right now, over this last week and a half especially, you may have seen people posting taking their kids to college and setting up their dorms and, doing the whole thing, right? The drive up to school. And it's like a rite of passage. There are a lot of freshmen in college that are starting school and they got dropped off over the weekend. There are a lot of parents who are in tears like, I can't believe my
yeah.
baby's grown up. This writer says it is offensive to call those parents empty nesters now. Is this writer an empty nester? It doesn't seem so. The writer would just like to speak up for a group that perhaps this writer is not a part of. The writer says it is subtly offensive or even damaging as a term. The word empty conveys only absence. It's a word you almost never use in a positive way. But then in the article that somebody commented on, say, I think it's positive to say the highway was totally empty today on my drive in.
Yeah, got him.
The writer thinks it's an outdated term because a lot of empty nests don't really stay that way anymore. How many times have you seen a baby bird fly off and then come back 4 years later and stick around for 10 years?
It's like a boomerang, empty nest.
Empty nest has been a phrase for over a century. It was coined in 1914, and it came to describe a sort of malaise that can set in once your kids are gone. Now, she thinks it's time to replace it with a different term, and her suggestion is to call them next chapters. My kids are finally gone. I can move on to my next chapter.
That doesn't describe anything. Everything in life
Yeah.
is a next chapter. Tomorrow's a next chapter.
Yeah.
Every single day of our lives is a
Your
next chapter.
chapters without your kids, like they're
Yeah, that
always
seems
there.
weird.
Yeah,
Just new phase or
dumb.
I don't know. I mean, empty nester just explains to people what your house situation
You don't
is.
have any kids in the house. Everybody
Right.
knows what that means.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
an empty nester, and I do not find that offensive whatsoever.
I don't
That's
know
ridiculous.
Imagine somebody does. Now there's one person out there.
37530.
There's
if
definitely
you
gonna
are
be one person
offended
text us.
by the phrase empty nest. 37530. Now listen, I think in these last couple of weeks we've been talking about in my own household about when you grow up and you leave to go to college and all this stuff. My 9-year-old son the other night was really at bedtime is when his emotions seem to pour out of him of the day. Like I'm putting him to bed and he'll tell me if something bothered him. Like that's when he'll tell me if something bothered him that day or whatever. And he said that he was feeling sad, and I said, "Why are you feeling sad, buddy?" He's like, "Because we're going to grow up and we're not going to live here anymore." Because I guess he was processing us talking about when you go to college and you don't live in the house anymore. And I was saying, basically you only have how many? What's that number we always hear? Like you 18 Christmases
Yeah,
as
but-
a whole nucleus
By the time you're
before one of
18,
them leaves.
The rest of their life will not even add up to the time you see them compared to
Yeah.
one to 18.
Was it
So
the
Tasso and I must have been
72
talking about
seasons?
this. Yeah, Tasso and I must have been talking about this, and so he really took it to heart. And he was like, "Because when Alexandra moves to college, then we're not going to be together anymore." And I was like, "Buddy, we still have time. We still have time. It's all good. Everyone's in the house. Everyone's all in their beds. We're still one whole little group. Nobody has moved out yet."
Buddy, we're Greek.
And he's like,
You'll
"But
probably
she's
be here
gonna
until you're
live."
40. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
isn't it amazing
You
how
get married,
like,
bring your husband
Yeah,
and
come
live
on
with
in.
us.
your
Let's
kids,
all go.
They soak up everything. You got to be so careful what you say in front of them
Well,
because
I'm glad he brought it up because who would have known that this is what was like tormenting him as he's trying to sleep, that he's so homesick already for his sister to leave the house. And that's not even close right
I think
now.
that's
You know what I mean?
wonderful.
But we are going
That's-
to blink. And
It's like
gonna
5
happen.
years.
great
I know,
parenting
right?
that you guys can do that at the end of every day, kind of recap things in a non-threatening way. I mean, that's
And our-
awesome.
Yeah.
When my daughter drives, I'll pick her up at school. She'll drive us home and stuff. She'll be playing like the Smiths or stuff. And I'm like, "Why are you playing like this stuff, the Peshbone stuff?" Well, like when your mom would swim, you always have that on Pandora or something. I learned it's your fault. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
But you
That's
don't
a great
realize
memory.
you don't realize that they like all
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
80s,
Didn't you
90s
listen to your
music.
parents' music?
No,
No, I ain't
dad,
putting
like-
on Billy Joel.
Yeah.
My parents
I wish
did-
it was
my
Billy
parents
Joel.
did
I like
listen to
Billy Joel. My dad
Joel.
was like, remember I told you he was like the leader of the pack. All that
My
crap
dad
from
was
the
like
50s.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's fun.
They were in
Yeah.
That's
town.
kind of like my dad was like
They
that.
were actually in town this weekend. They were at the Woodlands on Saturday night.
Oh, really?
It was them in
Dang. I
Chicago.
should have.
Are they missing, like-
Remember,
They're missing like Earth and
21st
Wind.
day of
Yeah.
September.
Just a little fire
I
left.
had to come down.
We almost
fire
went, and then I was like, "Oh man,
It's hot.
It's like 100 degrees. I do not want to sit on the lawn."
I didn't think it was that bad this
It was
weekend.
really
Maybe I'm
hot.
such a weirdo.
It was
I think
only
you
in
get
the-
past a certain like sweating point. You already know you're going to sweat.
Yeah.
Like I was really enjoying myself.
It's weird though when you're
outside.
watching a concert and you feel that like on your legs. Like, what is that feeling? Oh, it's sweat just
Oh yeah, or dripping
slides
down
up.
your spine.
It's dripping. And it's like, ugh.
Rilla, did you see the text that we got about the empty nester?
I'm reading them now. One person.
Oh dang it!
Tell me which one you're
It's
talking
just,
about.
of course, it's just.
Jasmine,
I'm
my
gonna-
daughter to UT Austin. I'm an empty nester. No,
No, it
offense
was
here.
the one. There
How
was a
come?
great thing. Like when you're pregnant, you're
You're
nesting.
Empty,
And then-
it says empty
Did you find it?
nester is not offensive.
No, it was something about like so when you're pregnant, they say like, oh, you're nesting right now.
right before the
like you're
baby
in
is
the
born,
house,
you start to
you're
nest.
trying to get
Yeah.
everything ready, and so
Yes.
it makes sense that once the children leave, you're an empty nester because you're not nesting anymore with the kiddos.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That made total sense to me.
Yeah, one person said, "I'm really looking forward to my empty nest." I guess this person's
How old's your kid? 3.
Time for KRBE's Rule and Riot Show to tell you what's going down.
By the way, did you see Ben Affleck's kid is going to Yale, the girl, and Gwyneth Paltrow's son is going to Yale.
They're gonna start dating.
People are like, oh, those
They're
two
gonna
used
be
to date.
in-laws.
Those two used to date,
Yeah, that'd be so crazy, right?
and now they're
They meet at Yale.
yeah.
They start
It's a
dating.
new love story. Astros 6, Orioles 3. Man, they're awesome. Did you watch the game, Eric?
Doobie!
I always
I watched
turn to you
all
for
4, and I was so.
Back-to-back homers
We-
with Yondier and
We should have won
Bregman.
4, all 4 of them. Choked the middle 2.
Did you
My
see
God,
where
I know.
So mad.
Dana Brown
He's
said that he expects Kyle Tucker to return in early September, so just a few weeks?
Unless he gets a hangnail, then he'll be out 2 years.
Oh, come on.
Mom, you're so mean.
He's been out since like June 3rd.
Was it Friday night that they blew that lead and I was texting you and
I think it's a
Yoj and I was
hangnail.
so mad?
No,
Was that Friday?
No, they
Or
won
that Thursday?
Friday. They won 6-0. Then they lost Saturday. Lost Sunday.
So
no,
Saturday.
No, yeah, Friday. Yeah,
It was a Friday they blew
Friday
that
they
lead?
choked. Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
God, Friday
Yeah.
they blew that damn
So-
lead.
Abreu.
Talked about this when we opened the show. The Houston airport system says they expect more than 888,000 passengers at Bush and Hobby this upcoming weekend.
Damn.
The Houston airport system is asking travelers to budget additional time, especially for Labor Day weekend. Around 682,000 passengers are expected at Bush Airport, with Friday and Monday being the busiest days. That return home is not fun. If you have a chance to take an Uber or rideshare, I would highly recommend. Because when we get
I don't
back,
know, Ryan. That Uber and rideshare is what's clogging up the system.
yeah, but think about it. 2 weeks, Kevin and I flew back on the same flight.
The parking garage get all.
It took Kevin about an hour and a half to get home.
That was a fluky thing, though,
just
right?
to get out of the parking garage pickup area.
Well, that
That's
was-
because the guy's foot got run over.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's always traffic
Right.
there. But it took Kevin an hour and a half with rideshare.
So fly out of Hobby.
It took me 3 hours to get
There
out.
you go.
There you go. Forget your
Problem
United Miles.
solved.
No, I love Hobby, but they don't have direct flights a lot of places on Southwest that I go to,
Well, you
unfortunately.
get a complaint
And it's changing.
about
Southwest is changing. They're
leaving
gonna
quickly.
get rid of
Boy.
the
I tried to book
show
my
up
son's
I know.
your seat.
trip here. They used to have like nonstop from Chicago here, like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Now it's like 4. And
Yeah.
The rest are all like
You got to go through somewhere.
Stop where, go here, go to St. Louis,
Let's
Atlanta.
forget it.
Like, what the hell's going on?
All right, that's what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, it's time for Mama's to vent. What are you done with? It's only been like maybe a week for school, 2 weeks, depending on when your kid started. Maybe you're already over it. Something you want to complain about. You're happy that you're parenting. You're happy you're a parent. But let's be honest, things on the everyday get on your nerves. So this is your chance to vent it out. 833-390-KRBE. What are you done with? We'll talk to you next on The Real and Ryan Show.